Huh? I could totally walk in high heels.
I don't believe
you.
Oh,
camera's on. Hi.
Oh, hi.
Let's talk about heels and what kind of problems they cause for women and what's the deal with them? Besides looking fabulous.
High heels are a crazy thing to do to your feet. But you know, a lot of women wear them. They wear them to work. And if you've got pointy high heels, it's bunching all of your toes together and it's putting an excessive amount of your weight into the ball of the foot. And there are a lot of compensations that have to happen in every joint structure above the ankle in order to make you not pitch forward and fall over. So high-heeled shoes are one of the worst things you can really do to your body. But if you're going to wear them, there are things you can do to try to mitigate the negative effects.
Excellent. Now, I'm glad you said what you said in that, because people don't realize like what your feet do affect the rest of your body. And if you don't believe me, stub your toe and then see how the rest of your body moves and walks. Now, this is even worse. I mean, look at what it does to your foot. Really take a look at that for a second, at how narrow the tip is, how it squishes the toes together. Your toes are not meant to be squished together like that. In fact, I've looked at pictures, or I've seen pictures of, tribes or where people walk barefoot all the time, and their toes are nice and spread and they have nice articulation. Meanwhile, our toes all look like, kind of like this.
Right.
Real ugly and weird. Anyway, and this throws everything off. It makes you tighten it in the gastrocs, changes activation in the glutes, can cause low back pain. So I've had my heels on. I've been at work all day, not me personally. Then I come home, and what do I got to do? What should I do to help mitigate some of those issues?
So your plantar fascia, or the fascia along the bottom of the foot that connects to all the rest of the fascia in the body, is probably going to be in a world of pain. So one of the things you can do is roll out your foot using a lacrosse ball. You could use a tennis ball if your feet are more sensitive, or even a golf ball if you want to get in there a little bit more. So I'm just going to step on the ball, put a little pressure into it, and I'm going to roll it around and see where there are any areas of tightness. So right now in my right foot, I'm feeling a little bit of a lump in the arch. So I'm just gonna breathe and relax and roll back and forth. Just a minute on each side will do to release that plantar fascia.
Excellent. This feels remarkably good. It's a little painful, but it feels great. I have one of these, and what I do with this is if I'm sitting down even, I don't apply as much pressure obviously, but if I'm sitting down watching a movie, I'll put the lacrosse ball under my foot and just kind of roll it back and forth. And I noticed just better connectivity in my feet after doing this, probably because I've alleviated some of that tightness and some of that pressure.
Right,
okay.
Exactly.
Excellent.
And then after you release the plantar fascia, it's a great time to stretch your calves, which are probably really constricted and tight from wearing those high heels.
Now you want to pay attention to this. Steph, if you don't mind getting up on your toes for me, like you're pretending like you're on heels. Okay. Here's what's happening here. Here's the gastroc, here's the calf muscles. When you're standing in this position, your muscle is shortened constantly. Even if you're not flexing, it's just in this shortened position. And when you go to flatten your feet out by taking off your heels, that muscle now is going to be tight, and it's not going to feel very good. And it's going to affect everything from your feet to all the way up towards your back. So, and a good example is, imagine if, because a lot of times, especially with women walking in heels, they don't really get this because they're always in them. But imagine if I walked around with my arm like this all the time, just in this flex position. At the end of the day, when I'd go to stretch my arm out, boy, would it be tight along the bicep. So in this particular situation, tight gastrocs. We just did some lacrosse stuff for the bottom of the foot. What do we do for the gastrocs? What do we do for the calves?
For the calves now, we are going to find a step. It doesn't have to be a very high step. It could just be stairs in your house. And you're going to place the ball of the foot on the edge of the step, and with a straight leg to stretch that gastroc, just gently hang that heel down. Okay, and this is going to be about a 20-second stretch because these are a little bit smaller muscles. They may not require as much time here. Now, be careful, because if you have a lot of external rotation, you're going to go into this kind of, toes out position into the stretch. So you want to look down at your foot, make sure that your toes are pointing straight ahead there, but also experiment with toes in and toes out to stretch different parts of the gastroc. Okay, now once you've done that stretch for 20 seconds, you can micro bend the knee and continue to drop that heel down, and you might feel something in the soleus closer down into the Achilles tendon.
So straighten this out again. So this was the first stretch, and here's the second stretch. Okay, very, very small difference. Now, she's talking about two different muscles that make up the calf muscle. The gastroc is the big part of the calf muscle, this big meaty part. The soleus is a flat muscle that's underneath that gets a better stretch when the knee is slightly bent. That's why you want to do both. That's actually two parts of the calf.
Exactly.
Now, when you're doing these stretches and you're holding them, how long do you want to hold these stretches for?
20 to 30 seconds per stretch is fine.
Okay. Excellent. And I think it's important to know, as with any static stretch, you don't want to hold your breath. A lot of times people will get into a stretch like this, and they'll hold their breath and kind of try to force a stretch. You can't force a stretch, because what you're literally trying to do with a stretch is you're trying to tell that muscle to relax. So go ahead and try relaxing while you're holding your breath. That's almost impossible. So make sure you breathe slow, controlled, ease yourself into the stretch, hold it for, like she said, 30 seconds, and then switch legs. We post a brand new video every single day on this channel. So subscribe. Also, if you go to mindpumpmedia.com, you can check out our coaching. It's 30 days for free.